complain of boredom over weekends and holidays? Do you resort to TV time or gadgets to keep your child engaged? And are you worried that there is so much of gadget time and you're not able to do anything about it? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Gomati Narayanan and welcome to Little Story Station. Today we are going to be looking at top 10 card games for children to keep them engaged right from age 2 or 3 years to grown-up kids over 8 and 9 years old. For those of you that is new to Little Story Station, I am a mother of an 8-year-old and I am a reading specialist. I help children fall in love with reading. I also help parents on raising readers. I conduct regular workshops. So if you're interested in attending one of those free workshops, click on the link below. I have a workshop coming every other week or very so often. I also conduct phonics classes to help children learn phonetically. And if you're interested in helping your child read through phonics, I have a link left below and you can click on that link to register or call for inquiries. So today we are going to be looking at 10 card games that helps me and my child get engaged, keep ourselves engaged during weekends or during holidays. In fact, my son hardly has any screen time, be it TV time or gadgets, and most of his time is spent through reading books and playing these card games. So without further ado, let us look at those card games that are our favorites and that I recommend that you hold in your household as well. Jump on to look at what those 10 card games are. I am going to be recommending these card games in increasing order of recommended age. So the first one that I wanted to recommend is very well known game of Uno. And Uno is number one, and so I want to recommend this as the number one card game. So Uno is a very simple card game. It helps the child understand numbers from 1 to 9 in this case at least. So it is ideal for children to learn colors and because it has red, yellow, green and blue, and also numbers from 1 to 9, and also the child will be able to take simple instructions like flip or reverse or skip and all that. And so this is a very interesting card game for I would say a child from 3 to 4 year old. So this could be one of the first games that you could introduce to your child. And over the years, and this what I have here is Uno Express, but over the years Uno has come up with different avatars, if you will. The original one is the Uno, this one is the Uno Express, and I also have here Uno Flip. Uno Flip has the Uno cards or instructions on both the sides, and it is a little slight variation of the original Uno. So children are hooked to this game. I've been playing Uno with my child from when he was about 3.5, 4 years, and he's 8 years now, and he still likes to play Uno. So I could say that it is a very popular game among children. The next game I want to talk about is, like I said, I'm going in the increasing age recommendation. So this one is Set. Although the sleeve says it's recommended for age 6+, I would recommend this for age 4 or 5 and above, because this game is about patterns and recognizing patterns. So it has solid patterns and all the different colors. There are 3 different colors and patterns, solid and not so solid patterns. And so this helps the child understand pictorially and increases their cognitive skills. This helps the child also to make connections and build on sequences. So this is a very good game. We started playing Set with our child when he was about 5.5 to 6 years old. But at that age itself, we thought it was very easy for him. So I would recommend this from 4.5, 5 and above, and this is a very good game that keeps the child engaged and wanting to play more. The next game on my list is all popular, all popular what we have played all along, which is the Pictionary. The card that I have in my hand is for children, because as you can see it's very tiny, and this is a very engaging game. Although the card manufacturer recommends that this is for about 6 or 7, I would recommend this for even from 3.5 to 4 years old, because what we did, I'll tell you what I did with my child. We would just take these cards and put it or lay it on the floor, and would ask him to guess what this is, and make connections. So picture to word connections were made using these tiny cards, and my son loved this game, and he still loves this game. But slowly we increased the difficulty from simply starting with a man or fire or lines, square, rectangle, to making connections. So then we would say put these two and say what is the connection, and he would say man climbing up the ladder, or man playing a football, and all that stuff. So the pictorial representation, pictures, children learn through pictures a lot, and so the pictorial representation on these cards were very helpful in developing his cognitive skills. So I highly recommend you buy Pictionary when your child is about 3.5, 4, or not beyond 5, and start building the game progressively. Although the game is played a little differently for 8 to 10-year-olds, but I would recommend that you start even earlier. The next game on my list is Think a Link. Think a Link is recommended on the sleeve. It says recommended for age 5 plus, and this is a very good game in also again making connections, making a link between the pictures in the cards. So this is very helpful in developing the cognitive skills as well. So I highly recommend once again buy this about 4.5, 5 years, and this is for players 2 to 4, and all of these games that I am recommending are generally for 2 to 4, and every weekend it is me, my husband and my child sitting and playing these games, and sometimes we would even go on for about 4 or 5 hours at a stretch, after our lunch or so, and that's how my son never asked for TV time or gadget time. We always played these games to keep him engaged, and for us it was more of spending time with him, but for him it was also developing his cognitive skills, and all the making connections and learning numbers, mathematics through these games. The next on my list is Skip-Bo. Skip-Bo is, on the sleeve it says age 7 plus. We started playing this game with our son when he was 6.5, and it was just about right at that time. But he didn't play this for very long, because always the recommended age on the sleeve is right about that age when they will be interested. But some children may be interested in this game a little earlier also. So this is a game of once again it is similar to Uno, skipping and ensuring that you get rid of all the cards in your hand, and ensuring that you win the game by getting rid of all your cards. Skip-Bo was very similar to Uno, but because my son has been playing Uno for really long time, Skip-Bo didn't interest him as much as Uno did. But nevertheless, it is a very good game, and I recommend that you start buying this card or playing this card when around 6 years. Next on my list, as you can see, I have plenty of these cards. These are Monopoly, or deal, or business, however you want to call it. So we first started introducing our son to the board game of Monopoly, and we started introducing that to understand or to introduce to him the concept of money and counting, and because you have to roll the dice and count places. And I would say that his counting skills and his mental mathematics improved dramatically after we played the Monopoly board game. And I will talk about the board games that we recommend in another episode. But after we saw that he was so interested, so engraved in Monopoly, he was so interested in playing Monopoly. So then we started looking at the card game. As you can see, we have many versions of it. The original version, or the version that we started playing off with, is this Monopoly deal, and then we started to get this Monopoly bid. I'll tell you what the difference is in each of these. So the Monopoly deal is very similar to the Monopoly board game that we have. It has the the different cities, and you have to buy them by different colors. You have action cards, you have the property cards, the action cards. You also have rent cards, very similar to how you play on the board. And this game, we sometimes we've played a marathon of these games for over 7-8 hours. Just taking breaks in between for lunch and dinner and all that. This game is so engaging. The child learns many skills, including mathematics skills, counting skills, and how to bargain, how to make deals, and a lot of interpersonal skills are developed with this game. So I highly recommend, if there is one game that you should have in your house for for your child as a card game, it should be this one. So and after we started playing this and buying multiple versions of it, we stumbled upon Monopoly bid. And this is a much simpler version of the other game, the Monopoly deal itself. And here you have the property cards and very simple action cards, as you have money from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and you have simple bidding and stealing cards, action cards. So this is if you want your child, a 3 or 4-year-old, to start understanding Monopoly. You could start off with Monopoly bid, and then you can go on to Monopoly deal if you thought Monopoly deal was a little complex for your child. But nevertheless, Monopoly is a game that you should have in your child's toy room or in his game list. The next on my list is a very interesting game. This was introduced to us by our cousin who lives in London. This is called Dobble, and this is a game of finding out. Right, each of these cards have at least one picture in common, and there are about 54 cards, if I'm not wrong, in this pack, and there are 6 to 8 variations of the game that you could play. The simple version is to identify the common connections between two cards, and you collect cards. The person that collects the maximum number of cards is the winner. This game is so addictive. I tell you that this game interests my mom, and my son plays with my mom, with my sister, and with his cousins, and he has so much fun. And so this could be a fun family game, leave alone a game for your child. Dobble it is, and this is a very interesting game of connections. So this game helps in your child increase his power of concentration. So the child has to, in a very short span of time, in matter of milliseconds or seconds, find connections between two different cards. There are about 10 to 12 pictures in each card. So making connections between two cards at a very lightning speed improves their cognitive skills, and it surely has done that magic in my child. Then next on my list, if you all are familiar with my son and his interest, he's a dinosaur lover. So here it is for the dinosaur lovers. The next on my list is Fossil Wars Dinosaurs. If you are a child, if your son or daughter loves dinosaurs, this is the game to go for. And introduce this game. And also, if you want your child to know more about dinosaurs, also this is the right game to pick, because each game here, each card here has the name of the dinosaur, where the dinosaur lived, and what was the size. Was it a was it a predator? Was it an herbivore, meat-eating, carnivore dinosaur? And geographically where the dinosaur was located and all that. So the objective of this game is to find similar dinosaurs with similar attributes and form 3 sets of cards, and whoever wins, whoever does that first wins the game. And so this card develops their knowledge about dinosaurs. It also develops their geographic skills about different continents, because each of these cards have the a picture of the continent, and it says where this dinosaur was located or lived in Africa. Talks about measurements, height of the dinosaurs. It talks about the duration, or how many years ago the dinosaurs lived. So the child is able to appreciate these enormous, ginormous creatures that lived and walked many millions of years ago. It also talks about the unique features of each of these dinosaurs here, and it talks about and it also tells you how to pronounce the names correctly. So if you are somebody who has a dinosaur lover, but you are not very familiar with dinosaurs and dinosaur names, and you're lost oftentimes when your child says Kentrosaurus or Tyrannosaurus or Triceratops, this is a game for you also, because it helps you pronounce the names, understand about the dinosaurs, and have fun. My son can play this card over and over and over again for hours together. As you all know, he is a dinosaur lover, and it keeps the dinosaur lovers so engaged. The next on my list is not so much so a card game, but it is more of a game for the brain. So this is played between the parent and the child, not so much so as a game, but the parent asks questions and the child answers. So this is brain quest, and we have brain quest right from age 2 to all the way until 13 years for 7th graders, I think. So each of these sets have, each of these set has many questions, and questions and answers next to each other. So you could quiz your child on his or her understanding of different things, from mathematical skills to logical reasoning to analytical skills to colors to numbers to whatnot, right? This was very helpful for me when my child was very young. It also helps you understand what are your child's strengths and weaknesses, and work on your child's weak areas. Like if your child is struggling to do mental math, or struggling to understand the sequence, then you could work more on that. So this is something that I would definitely recommend that you carry to fill your child's weekend or holiday time with some fun. The next on my list is not so much so a card game, but it is similar to a card game, but is very engaging. This is Pick 2, and these are little stylus or cards that little plastic cards, and the way the game is played, it's a word building game. The way it is played is we have a timer, and the players are dealt with 5 cards to start with, and each of the player will have to form words. It's more like a Scramble, but then you get to pick only 2 cards at a time after you've used up all your cards in your hand. So this is a very engaging game. This helped a lot. We started playing this game with my son, and then this is a game that me and my husband used to play even before my son was born. So we love this game, and we introduced this to our child when he was about 5 years old, when he started to form words and was working on his spellings, and he loves this game. The next on my list is a very popular game that we all may have played growing up. This is asking questions, yes, no and maybe, and arriving at what the other person has in his mind. It's a guess game, and that is what Skillomatics have come up with in the form of cards, in the form of card game. This is called Guess in 10, and Guess in 10 comes in multiple variations. Here I have quite obviously dinosaurs, and I have cities around the world. You have many other topics like animals, to Disney characters, and many other games. And this is recommended for 8 to 99 years. However, I recommend that you buy this game for your child when about 5.5 or 6 years old, because this game is very intuitive and very interesting. It also helps your child develop cognitive skills and form all those neural connections and make guesses, and also the child is very happy when he's able to guess under 10 questions. So those are the top 10 card games that we love in our household, which has helped us engage our child and keep him engaged and out of boredom. I hope this was useful for you. Leave in the comment below what is your favorite card game, and if there's any card game that that I have not included in the list that is a favorite in your house, and I would love to read your comments. And if you have not subscribed to Little Story Station, subscribe to Little Story Station and click on the bell icon, because every week I upload 2 videos, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you will get notified about new episodes as and when I upload it. And feel free to get in touch with me for any phonics classes or any webinars that you are interested in to understand how to raise your reader. I hope you like this episode. I will see you again in another informative episode. Until then, if you like what you're seeing in Little Story Station, spread the word around to your friends. I am nearing 1000 subscribers mark, and I'm so excited, and your word of mouth will help me increase my viewership and impact more parents and more children. So until I meet you next time, take care and read a lot of books to your children. Bye.